Today I share with you a bit about this amazing Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Now this 2.0 liter petrol crossover is one of those you'd need for a town ride to go for that meeting, and you know you're very safe and you're also rocking a very stylish crossover vehicle. Now it definitely has aerodynamics factored into its design. If you can tell the fin lines over here, and of course it's rocking an 18-inch alloy rim as well. It's a king on the road, it's a beast on the road. The design is amazing. It's a hatchback. If you can tell, the hatchback design at the back is one of those that stands out. You definitely, be sure that everybody's going to know that, yeah, you're rocking an Eclipse Cross with this amazing design at the back. It's got its sensors at the back as well, so you know you're safe, you're protected. If anything is happening at the back, you definitely get to know. You would want to see the interior. It's beautiful. It's very comfortable, very spacious as well. Let me show you the boots actually. Now the boot room is amazing. This opens quite very comfortably, and you've got enough room at the back. Remember, the seats also fold flatly in there, giving you about 1,200 liters more. You would want to see what's in there. Let's check it out. So if you're looking for comfort, this is quite spacious for the driver. I'm almost 6 feet and I fit in perfectly nice, very comfortable seats. It gets cold a little bit nowadays as well, so if you'd want to heat these seats up, you've got everything to heat them up, okay? And you can adjust it based on your height. These can move so that you can have a very comfortable alignment with your steering wheel. So the Eclipse Cross has an amazing feature which you'd want to check out. Because they want the driver to always focus on the road, you've created, once I knock this button, the heads-up display pops up from the screen, and all that you have on your display in here will show up on this heads-up display, so you don't have to look down. You can always keep your eyes on the road and know all that's going on in the vehicle with this amazing heads-up display. Let me put it back so you can see how it just goes and folds in there. It's got a touch screen, entertainment system as well. So yeah, you can conveniently move around selecting your audio and your media and all of that. It's got some good amount of storage as well. There's a letterbox where you can put in stuff. It's got 2 cup holders here where you can actually put in your coffee so you don't spill it. Yeah, so the cup holders come in very handy. It's got some other space here where you can put your little things and stuff like that. So, there's more space, tons of it in here. It's got some more space where you can put a lot of things in there. So for storage, you're totally sorted with the Eclipse Cross. So the Eclipse really is very steady on the road. It drives pretty well, very comfortable when you're steering. You're able to maneuver nicely. It doesn't shake so much. Yep. It's quite steady. And it's very comfortable as well. So if you're looking for a crossover that would handle your town riding perfectly, this is what I'll recommend. Very comfortable, very safe as well, and it has almost all the controls on your steering wheel, so you don't have to be looking around looking for knobs to push here and there. You can do everything from the steering wheel. Yeah. We've gotten to see the all-new Eclipse Cross, but why do you need to get this car? Clement Kwache will tell us why. Clement, why this car?
Thank you very much. Now, Mitsubishi vehicles can best be described with two main words: reliability and steadiness. Now, this Eclipse Cross is a 2.0 liter compact SUV. Now, being a 2.0 liter compact SUV means that fuel efficiency, it's top class. This vehicle, because of its 7 airbags, is actually a 5-star NCAP rated vehicle. NCAP means that each and every year, every car that comes out from the production factory goes through rigid testing. That's what we call the new car assessment program. This vehicle here, this SUV, it's a 5-star NCAP rated vehicle. When it comes to safety, it is perfect. It's compact, fuel efficiency is excellent, and I mean, it fits your pocket rightly.
Today I decided to take my Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross to the workshop, and that's because I want to find out something that you probably have been thinking about as well. How do I maximize the fuel consumption of my car? I mean, we need to fork out a lot of money to buy fuel all the time, but sometimes you realize, hey, my car is using too much fuel. Consumption is going high, I'm buying more fuel. What's happening to the car? Well, we got to find out right here in our CFO showroom, where I've packed this amazing Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Now, Kwame Owusu is the workshop manager, and he's going to tell us really how do we get the best out of our car with regards to fuel consumption. You don't want to be paying a little too much for fuel. You want to make sure that you're maximizing or optimizing your fuel consumption. Kwame Owusu is the man to tell us all. My brother, how are you doing? Really good to see you. Today we get to talk about optimizing fuel consumption of our cars. For starters, when I buy a car, over the years, does the fuel consumption level change? It does. Why? Yeah. Okay. Okay. What are those things we need to do to make sure we are maximizing fuel consumption?
Okay, first, basically you would have to do a regular maintenance. The regular maintenance should be done very well. You see, with regular maintenance, the fuel consumption is going to be checked. The fuel filters are going to be checked to reduce your fuel consumption.
Okay.
Good. The next thing too you have to do is to check your air filters. When they are doing the maintenance, when you do regular maintenance, they are definitely going to check your air filters. Blocked air filters is going to cause high fuel consumption.
How? What's the correlation? Because this is air, this is fuel. How does the air filter cause higher fuel consumption?
Okay, very good question. The air, you see, in the fuel system, we have a fuel-air ratio. So the fuel is mixed with air. There's a certain amount of air and there's a certain amount of fuel that comes to mix for the combustion to take place. So if that amount of air, let's take an assumption, if your air filter is blocked and the air coming is limited, there will be more fuel coming. So it is going to increase your fuel consumption. That is why you don't have to let your air filter get blocked.
Okay.
You understand? So that the air ratio and the fuel ratio will be the same. So that they can mix that.
So it's important to get the air filters cleaned regularly. And not clogged.
Not clogged, yes.
Okay. To minimize the fuel consumption.
Yes.
What else do we need to check?
Also, when you normally drive on highways, it's better you use your cruise control, because your cruise control would also reduce your fuel consumption in about, let's say, 5%. Normally when you drive on highways, good. With your cruise control, it will maintain the speed.
Okay.
You will not regulate your speed up and down. The cruise control will maintain your speed, and it will give you a normal fuel ratio, which you can drive with. So it's very good. Normally, those who travel a lot, it's very good to use your cruise control when you are traveling.
Okay, what else? Tell me more.
About the fuel consumption.
Yeah.
You want to know more?
I want to know some of the things that causes us to expend more fuel.
Okay. You would also have to consider your idling. So normally you see, when you drive a lot in traffic, you would always complain of fuel consumption as compared to somebody who doesn't normally drive in traffic. because you'll be idling too much in traffic. So more idling, because you see at idle time the air ratio is low, so the fuel will go up.
Okay.
So at idling time you are likely to increase your fuel consumption. So long idling is a factor too.
But that, we can't control idling.
That is why I said if you normally drive in traffic a lot,
then it
you
means
can't
you're
do
going to
anything about that.
You can't
that
do
one,
anything about it.
you should expect high fuel consumption.
Probably you need Google Maps to tell you where there's no traffic.
Good. And that one would also help
That
you.
will help you.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
what
yeah,
else?
yeah. Another thing that you also have to consider doing is the fuel, the type of fuel you use.
The type of fuel?
Yes, you see, we have the lead and we have the unleaded fuel. Eclipse Cross is an unleaded fuel.
Okay.
That is what we use in our continent. So you make sure you use the unleaded fuel. So when you get to the filling stations, you should know the type of fuel you are using. Because that one too is a factor.
Okay.
If you use the wrong type of fuel on the car, you are going to have. That is why the grey import cars, those that buy grey imports, they would have to be very careful on the type of fuel they use as compared to the general export cars. If I say the general export cars, those are the cars we sell in our continent. You understand? But the ones we bring from outside are the grey import cars. So the fuel type that you are going to use when you are driving a grey import car should be very clean.
Now, one of the things I want to know as well is how do I know that this car is consuming more fuel than it already, it should be? Apart from, knowing that I'm buying a lot now, are there any signs the car will show you that, look, consumption is going higher?
Basically, the first step for you to know your consumption is going higher is that you use the car. So if you used to buy fuel last month 20 cedis, and now you are buying 30 cedis for the same distance, then automatically you should know your fuel consumption is increasing. The next thing is to go to the dealerships. When you get to the dealership, we can calculate your fuel ratios. You understand the consumption rate. Okay. Because the manufacturing has a consumption rate for the car itself, naturally. You understand? So we'll calculate your consumption rate, compare it to we'll calculate the actual consumption rate, compare it to the consumption rate the car is consuming now. Then by that we can also determine
the differentials will tell that we can this is consuming a lot more.
Sometimes you see people buy, let me put it, like a 4 liter. You bought a 4 liter engine. You understand? As compared to a 2.0, 1.6. Somebody will say my car is consuming, but in reality, it is the rate at which the car should consume that is consuming. So that means in that case, you are not over consuming. Okay. But because you are using a higher engine, that's why.
Are there no signs, and when I say signs, I mean that if my car starts to consume more fuel, is it not going to
You normally see black smoke.
Okay, black smoke.
You normally see black smoke behind your exhaust.
Okay, that means that your consumption is going higher.
Going higher, yes.
Does the sound of the engine also change at some points?
It depends. It depends if the consumption rate is very high. In that case, your 1 or 2 cylinder might not work correctly. Okay. So the sound will change. But it's not likely. Most of the time it can consume while the sound has not changed. But it depends.
It depends.
You understand?
Okay. And unfortunately, there are no warning signs as well on the dashboard to show you that you're using a lot more fuel. But once you get to the pump and you're paying more for the same mileage, then it means that you're using a lot more fuel. Sure. So our tips today, we should do regular maintenance. That's very important. Yes. Make sure that your air filters are not clogged.
Yes.
What else? Final tips on this particular topic.
Use your cruise control while driving.
Use your cruise control whilst you're driving on the highway.
Be careful on the type of fuel you are using.
Unleaded fuel, if your car is made for unleaded fuel, that's good as well.
And another thing I didn't mention is your tire pressures.
Then you've got to mention it.
Yes. Your tire pressures, if your tire pressures are very low, you understand, you are going to have high fuel consumption.
What is the relationship between tire pressure and your fuel consumption?
Good. If your tire pressure is low, you are going to drive more on, you are stressing the car up, basically, because you are going to push the car to move faster. Okay. You understand? But if you have very correct tire level, you move up for the part. And another thing we should also understand, but that is too much technical, is the control unit. It has a rate. The software is programmed to the extent that it knows the pressure according to the air fuel ratio it is supplying. Okay. You understand? So if the pressure is low and it is seeing it very low, it's going to supply more fuel. You understand? And it is also advisable. Sometimes we buy cars and we say we have changed the tires. You give it a balloon tires, you are also increasing your fuel consumption.
So the right tires are also very important
very
to
important.
making sure that you're consuming the right amount of fuel.
Good.
And the pressure as well. So when you go to the vulcanizer, make sure the pressure is at the recommended limits.
That is it.
Right?
That is it.
And you will be saving on fuel. Does the weight of the car or the load in the car also have an effect? Because if you mentioned stressing the car. If the pressure of the tire is low, you're stressing it. So I'm assuming that if I put a lot of load in my car, it also amounts to stressing the car.
Which is very good. But that is why if you load your tires, if you load your car, you have to check your tire pressure. Because if there is no load, it has a pressure. Okay. If there is load, it has a pressure. Because the pressure is supposed to maintain the load.
Okay.
You get it?
All right.
So you should make sure if you are loading your car, then you are not going to use the normal pressure that you are using while the car is not loaded. So you should also consider that when you are loading your car. The load in the car, because the car has its weight, so it is calculated in the software.
Okay.
So that one is not a problem. But if you are loading it and reducing your tire pressure, then you are creating problem.
I mean, some of us have a lot of things in our cars. We have like a whole wardrobe in our car. We have like kitchen utensils.
And those ones are not that load.
So yes, I mean, that's really some good information. You have all you need to know in maximizing the fuel consumption of your car. So go out there, check the tire pressures, check your air filters, get your car serviced ASAP, because I want you to enjoy your car and I want you to pay, very little for fuel.